Hello, beautiful soul. Thank you for tuning in to Back to the Heart. If you are loving these conversations about healing, mindset, and manifesting transformation, make sure to follow the show right now so you never miss an episode. And while you're here, tap that star or heart and share this episode with someone who's ready to come back to their heart too. And if you want daily inspiration, behind the scenes moments, and a peek into my world, come hang out with me on Instagram at the heart, love me. All right, take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's dive in. What if the plant you've been taught to fear is actually one of the most direct paths back to feeling safe in your own skin? Today, I'm sitting down with Hannah Elrose, founder of Sacred Flower Vibes and a conscious cannabis steward, and one of my new amazing mentors that I'm so amped to talk about, is here to talk about what it actually takes to move from numbness to aliveness and why rebuilding self-trust starts in the body long before it shows up in your decisions. This episode is for the woman who feels spiritually awake, but practically stuck. She's done the inner work, she's read the books, and her life looks pretty good on paper, yet she is still waiting to feel it. If you are here for something big and you're ready to trust yourself again, this conversation is for you. Wow, I'm so excited to have you here today, Hannah. We are coming off of last night, had a beautiful sacred ceremony within your Elevate Sisterhood program. Oh my gosh, it was mind-blowing. Isn't even the word to describe it. Like, I'm a word witch over here and I'm out of words for a description of this. So we can circle back to that of what all happened last night. But it is such an honor to have you on Back to the Heart today and to be able to have this conversation with you because cannabis is such a magical medicine that is right here in front of our faces. And I'm so excited to be inspired by you and watching you with bringing this medicine to the forefront and reminding people of the power that it has, the opportunity that is in front of us. So welcome.
Amen. Thank you. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful for the web that has woven us together. I'm so grateful you're in my world, and I'm really excited to chat about this today.
Yay, me too. Me too. So let's just get started and share with everybody how this journey began for you and what was that moment that you were like, hey, this isn't the path I want to take. Maybe there's something else, and got you to this moment. You're back to the heart moment, some might say.
Wow. I'm having so many things go through my head right now, and so I'm just going to take a deep breath. So I never thought I would end up being a conscious cannabis guide. That was definitely not a dream as a child. However, my life brought me into this work. And simultaneously, I'm getting to carry out the dream I had as a child, which is to be a singer, because conscious cannabis has helped me also heal my relationship to my voice. So this medicine came into my life in college, but very much as a coping sort of mechanism. I started dating a guy, and in order to deal with the nature of the relationship, that is just like what we did. I also was severely bulimic at the time. I suffered from bulimia for 10 years, and that really, I feel like, severed me from my soul. I felt always disconnected from myself. I felt I had developed a frequency within my body, a chronic frequency of shame, fear, scarcity, guilt, hiding, self-destruction. And so in 2019, I was on my third cruise contract because after I went to school for theater and dance, I moved to New York City, and my first professional job was a cruise ship, which is a really cool thing that I wanted. I wanted to get paid to travel the world and to sing and to dance. So I did that. However, I was carrying this horrific eating disorder with me, and it escalated greatly because I now had nothing but time, nothing but money, nothing but access to food. And for me, my escape, my coping, my way of functioning in this really dysregulated state was trigger warning, binging and purging every single day, multiple times a day. I had no access to emotional capacity. I had no access to a safe and social state within my nervous system. I was just chronically in this fight or flight state. And so that is how I was coping. So 2019, I'm finishing my third contract living like this. And I said, I cannot do this anymore. I was 20 something years old, early 20s. I think maybe 24. And I said, I cannot keep living like this. One, I'm not going to ever know the potential of me as an actual performer. And two, like, I'm going to die. Like, I'm going to die, or I'm going to rack up thousands and thousands of dollars in credit card debt because this is an addiction and I am really suffering. So I asked for help, and my sister paid for my first eating disorder therapist. This is not the first time I tried to heal, by the way. I did go to like a day program several years ago, but the timing wasn't right. I couldn't commit to it at the time. But my sister invests in me to get the support I need. I end up going to a day treatment program while I'm in New York City. And again, it is helpful. It's $1,000 a day to be here. But by the end of 30 days and $30,000 later, I'm not healed. So they recommend I go to residential eating disorder treatment. So 2020, January 1st, I fly to Miami and I begin a 3.5-month stint in residential, in and out of different levels of care. That's a whole other story about insurance and not really being taken care of by the system. But the day before my 25th birthday, I got cut from insurance. I got sent home. It was COVID. I went to live with my mom, and I thankfully had connected very synchronistically, very divinely with a woman in Miami who was willing to take me kind of under her wing and basically pay for her services out of her own pocket. And so that bridge, as well as some outside support and not having to be in New York City and going back to work immediately, really gave me the space. Like, COVID was really a gift for me, gave me the space to be in healing. And so as I'm in healing, I literally Google, how do you learn about yourself? Because I did not know who the F I was. I was so severed from myself, and all I really knew was binging and purging and obviously musical theater, but I didn't know who I was at my core. And so I started to enter personal development and Brene Brown and just diving into who I really was. And so I'm in recovery, and I reconnect with this man that I had met on a cruise ship many years ago. He ends up being the love of my life. We start dating. My life is looking beautiful. I'm back on cruise ships. I'm no longer binging and purging. Life looks, on paper, amazing, but I can't feel any of it. Obviously, I fell in love with my husband. Obviously, there were feelings there. But at some point, my nervous system said, oh, we don't do these highs and lows. We stay in this really thin bandwidth of capacity, of emotional capacity, of what we can access within the heart, receiving love or giving love. And so I started feeling very stuck and sad and broken that I couldn't feel how amazing my life was. My husband loves me so much. And fast forward, I'm writing the vows for my wedding obviously I love this man so much. Obviously, I'm so excited about this life that we're building, but I can't access the feeling as I'm trying to write my vows. And I knew something was up. Like, why is my heart so closed? It makes sense. It was protecting me from a life of a lot of shame and self-abandonment and disconnect from others. It was going to be very important. Around this time, as I'm in recovery, my husband and I like take an edible every once in a while as we were in rehearsals for our cruise ships or whatever. And there's this very specific moment where I took a pretty strong edible and I was sitting with myself and I felt coherent. I felt within myself. I felt like my voice was inside of me and I felt like I was accessing my true self for the first time. And I thought, this is how we're supposed to always feel. We're supposed to feel connected to ourselves. We're supposed to feel like we can hear ourselves within our own body. And so that began a journey of seeking that state more often, seeking this ability to be coherent, safe, and grounded instead of my nervous system pattern of dis-ease, chronic tension, bracing for impact, problem frequency. So I started using cannabis in a conscious way to teach my body that it is safe to be in peace without bracing for impact. It is safe to feel more sensation without collapse. And cannabis has continued to bless me over and over and over again. And it became very clear several years ago as I was in Amsterdam for my honeymoon that I was meant to be like a very vocal person about this medicine. I was supposed to stand for her, steward her, and help people utilize her with intention because she's absolutely transformed my body, because she's brought me to these states of being that I hadn't been able to access in my chronically dysregulated nervous system state. But with the assistance of this plant ally, my nervous system, my mind, my body have been able to soften and relax into more and more surrendered states. And as we know, this is a game about being a receiver. And so cannabis has helped me be a receiver of my mission, of my gifts, and of pleasure.
What a magical story.
Mm.
Thank you so much for sharing that experience with us. And in there, love that you were able to see a shift in where you were originally using the medicine, not as medicine, more as that escape and numbing. And my story relates similar to that as well. And how I was able to shift it. And it was a physical issue with my body as well. So it's just, if there's anybody out there who you feel like you've tried all of the things and you're in these repeating patterns and you're in these loops, you know, this is another option. And there's a way to utilize this medicine in a conscious way, in a connection. I mean, we have these endocannabinoid receptors throughout our entire body that are made to receive this beautiful medicine that's been around for tens of thousands of years, used forever in all different types of capacities. It grows everywhere in complete abundance. Like, how many more boxes do you need to check with that?
Right.
And then it's, getting into that feeling of feeling yourself. I can resonate so much. I think there's so many people out there who are in a place where they are checking all the boxes and they do feel like they're doing all of the things, right? And still not able to feel into that space. And we've gotten so disconnected with our bodies that then when you're not able to feel into your body, you don't feel safe. So your root chakra is blocked. If your root chakra is blocked, then you're not getting to your sacral, where your creative juices start flowing. Like all of those pieces have to go together, and
Mm,
journey as well with utilizing the medicine and having a beautiful partner that was there to provide that safety,
mm.
to allow me to step back into myself for the
Yes.
first time, to
Yes.
start actually focusing on myself without that tension outside of me. And then I was able to heal that root chakra and then build that up to that sacral, like fire is going,
Mm,
and then getting the power in to the solar plexus. Now, as we were talking about opening up that heart chakra, and it's like all connected. And people are like, I want to use my voice and this. Well, you got to feel safe in yourself before
mm.
you can even think about getting to your throat chakra. There's just no way to skip through all of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
Um, so what you are doing with this membership with Elevate is so incredibly
Mm.
powerful for anyone listening. I talk about community all the time on this show. Reminder number 723, that community is always helpful. And the community that Hannah is providing is a monthly membership where she is hosting. What do you call this? I feel like I don't even know how to define it. Like, I want to
Mm.
say breath work, but it's nothing like any breath work experience that I've ever had before. What is your description of,
Yes,
yeah, what is that?
I've decided to call it, at least for now, it's called a sacred flower ceremony. Ceremony is a technology that was introduced to me in a really profound way a couple months ago that totally altered the course of my life and helped me access presence and self-trust in a deeper way than ever before. So I recognize that that's kind of what I had been doing because every month this year I have been hosting a monthly community soul disco, which was something that was kind of created that included breath work with intuitive movement with cannabis. That is something I've been offering every month. And then this ceremony has kind of been an evolution of that, and or maybe its own thing. We're still allowing things to evolve and show us what they want to be. But I knew when I hosted a ceremony in the Elevate 2-week portal, which was right after I exited this ceremony initiation and I was really stepping into a new level of leadership, I knew that ceremony was something that I wanted to bring monthly. I wanted women to gather and remember what it feels like to drop into sacred time, which is where you can cultivate self-trust within your body, which is where you can cultivate safety within your body. And cannabis helps put us in a state where we are elevated out of, dropped below, separate from, whatever you want to call it, all of the habituated thinking. And here's the thing, when we're talking about the women who are doing all the things consciously, sure, but your conscious mind is only 5% of this entire reality. And your subconscious, some people say, is living in your body. It's living in your tissues. So it's what's held in your body, what's unprocessed in your body, that is looping the thoughts and beliefs that you feel like you can't consciously break. That's what's been true for me. It's like, sure, I can like practice these affirmations and say these things, but they don't feel real at all because my body is not on board with that yet. There is still stuff that my body is holding on to, aka my subconscious is holding on to, that is going to keep me from being able to accept that as a new belief yet.
Exactly. It's like if you're saying something that doesn't feel natural, that feels untrue, then you're that the current version of yourself is going to be looking for reasons to prove that it's untrue.
Mm-hmm.
So it is getting back into that space of your body. One thing that you just said, I wrote this down, intuitive movement. Now, having experienced these ceremonies, I know now what you're talking about. But before that, I had not heard these words together. I know what intuitive means and I know what movement means.
Mm.
And so if any other listeners are out there, tell us about what this means to you and how you would describe this.
Yes. Well, we're talking about getting back in the body. And what really helped me understand that cannabis was helping me get my mind out of the way so my body could come forth is that I would take either these really strong edibles, or I would, especially if I smoked something that was like in a lotus petal or something, like something really magical and mystical, I was experiencing enough softening in my consciousness to allow my body to literally start moving on its own. So my head would start to move. And then if I just leaned into that a little bit more, my body would take me on a journey. And I understand that my body is divine intelligence. It knows more than my conscious brain. It knows what wants to be stretched, released, relieved. So this idea of letting music play as this masculine structure for the feminine flow within you to start to make itself known, and you create a relationship with it by being aware of and surrendered to what your body wants to do without any concern about what it looks like or what it should be. And a really big part of this for me was I wanted it to be a choose your own adventure. I want to give women, humans, an hour plus of trusting themselves, of trusting the guidance of their breath, of their body, and letting go of shoulds. Because I was doing a lot of breath work last year, and I would find that they would guide me to continue doing something, but my body really wanted to hold this breath hold longer. Or actually, I did not feel like doing those quick inhales, exhales. I actually want to go like turn over and sleep. And so giving myself like full permission to trust what my body wants over anything else. That is the practice. That is the sovereignty that we're cultivating and the self-trust that we're cultivating. And so these hour-long opportunities of being in this slightly altered state, being in this softened body, being in an intentionally designed playlist and guidance that I offer, but of course you can ignore and follow threads of your own making, is an opportunity for you to truly let go of your mind and get into your body. And then the body will show you what it wants. And even if you think, no, my body doesn't do anything, I would just stand there. Like I encourage, like, let's start with circling our head. And then you will find there's a place that your head wants to stay a little bit longer. Actually, you want to take a really big breath and hold it here. And then you just get to follow your curiosity, which is all also simultaneously cultivating interoception, this inner world awareness, which is what we're talking about, somatic awareness, feeling into the body. We're all coming home into the body because we've been so conditioned to live outside of and ignore every single inner sensation, including hunger, motherfucking hunger.
Right. You know, a word that kept coming up last night was surrender. And surrender, you know, you've been in a survival, right? And when you surrender from this survival mode, then the opposite of that is you're trusting. And it's like we're breathing right now. I'm digesting food right now. You know, the neurons are flashing. All the things are happening from a much greater, more powerful source than I. Mm-hmm. That if I cut my finger, it's going to heal itself without me doing a damn thing about it. Like our bodies want to heal, and that innate, like, God oneness that's within us, that powerful knowing, like, if that's there and that's present, then what's the resistance? What's the resistance?
Habituated lack of trust. I was just thinking that in the car earlier, thinking about the heart and thinking about if you haven't trusted love, if you have felt a lot of separation in your life, if you haven't had great examples of unconditional love in your life, like, you are going to protect your heart and you're going to push away love that wants to come into you. And so for me, it's like been somatic and physical practices with my heart space. Like it was so helpful for me to start to understand that I could, instead of intellectualizing my spiritual journey, I could truly come at it from the physical. And I've been on this journey, as you know, with fascia work and I'm honestly like working out more, like being in the body is really my goal right now. I lost my train of thought. Bring us back.
Yeah. Well, I really believe that loving and respecting your
Mm,
body is priority number one, because this is the vessel that we have, the one and only vessel we have in this lifetime. And a more powerful, all-knowing breathe, creating the breath created it. So that's where the trust has just got to go back to.
yes.
And I think it's getting back into that freedom of just moving and letting your body lead the way, instead of your mind of thinking, well, why am I doing that? Well, what if I look silly doing that? And this isn't the right way to do it. Or she's talking about breathing in, 3 breaths, but I'm tired of breathing and I really want to sit in child's pose.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of those things that go on in your head that keep you from being in the moment of now, because you're
Mm.
thinking about what you're not doing, or are you doing
Yes.
it right, or
Yes.
is somebody see me, or whatever. And it's just being in that moment and being okay with it doesn't matter and just whatever is such a difference in the flow and trusting in your body. And when I believe that whenever you can get into that space to trust your body, then you can trust more in life. Because if we're not listening to our bodies
Mm.
first, and that's why people don't trust anybody, and you're in
Yes.
fear of somebody's going to hurt me, or I don't even want to receive this because I don't know how to receive it, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving those things to myself.
Yes.
So I know my relationship in similar way with what you mentioned with yours of I had this like amazing connection with him, and we were, we'd gotten married, and like I knew that like he really loved me, but I really wasn't fully receiving it because
Yes.
I didn't have that capacity to love myself. So you can only receive
Mm.
from another what you actually allow yourself to receive from yourself. And you can actually only give the amount of love to someone else is a mirror of how much you love yourself.
Mm.
So that's just, it's such a powerful place to begin.
Mm.
If anybody is having anything connected with your body, with your health, with your finance, with your relationship, get back into your body first. Then you can start trusting yourself again, because
Mm-hmm.
we have all of the answers within us. We know, but we're so disconnected from our body that you don't even know how to listen. Like my friend Cherry, she coaches people with human design a lot, and she talks about there's different, like I'm a manifesting generator and your decision making authority is in your sacral chakra. Well, she'll go through these courses with people, and they come in, and myself included, of like, what do you mean, like in my sacral chakra? How am I supposed to feel? I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything, right? But you've got to heal that shit to be able
Yes.
to feel it, and you've got to let out those things that are stuck in the body. So that's why it's so amazing that we've got all of these tools out here. We have this natural medicine that's available for us that can supplement the breath work,
Mm-hmm.
the music, the sound healing that you're providing, the guidance, the movement, the flow, all of that together, and letting that stuff come out of your body, like what I do with the story work, and resetting your nervous system and letting that story out and releasing that
Mm.
tension, because we're just so pent up from all the things that, just like you said, I was the same. I didn't know who I was. I had no identity of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And until you clean up and clear out this vessel,
Mm.
you don't even know what you want.
Right.
At least that was me.
Totally. And resensitize. Clear out, clean up, resensitize. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. And then the next step of that is, getting those pieces out and ensuring that you are surrounding yourself by people that are inspiring you. And
Yes.
yes, there's going to be people around you every day that maybe frustrate you or drain your energy somewhat. This is a practice
Mm.
of getting a balance, of surrounding yourself by people who are inspiring you and motivating you, so that whenever those other pulls are coming, your light is shining bright enough that you're influencing people around you to light up and not letting your own light drain down, because
Mm.
it is so much about putting yourself in the room and invest in
Mm.
yourself, invest the money in a coach, invest the money in a program, a retreat, a community, whatever it is. If you're not willing to invest that dollar amount of whatever it is into yourself for you, why would it work?
Mm.
You know, or we
Yeah.
expect something out of nothing. It's like, that's the first decision, the first, like, I'm so worth this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was thinking about last night and that experience that I had. I want to circle back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not even sure how I could put a dollar amount value on the
Mm.
experience of just last night.
Yeah. Mm.
I I released so much
Mm.
of just this continued story and doubt that has been circling within my body. And it's all of these different pieces that work together. I'm doing the story work. I know that process. I'm doing the activities. I'm all of the different pieces together, but this is it. This is like this connection of having this support and having these different modalities and tools, modalities, medicines, gifts. Your gift that you are sharing
Mm.
is so amazing. It's like, I just want to thank you again so much, Hannah.
Mm. Thank you.
Last night was just,
This is a great opportunity to just speak of what's so interesting and strange about this journey, and is like yesterday I was in the friction of self-doubt of like I feel disconnected. I don't know why I don't feel confident. I at the same time was leading myself and knowing that, oh, there's a lot of extra energy in my body. Instead of letting it all ruminate in my mind, I'm going to go move my body. And from there, I'm just going to trust that this is all working out. I trust that I'm not wasting anyone's time. I trust that we're all gathering for the right reason. I trust that if I truly do what I say I do, which is surrender, what's meant to come through will come through. And I was quote unquote the least prepared that I've ever been. Um, and in your leadership journey, you go through this like the activation and the over preparing and the under preparing. Like you get to experience it all and you get to collect data. And last night was a really good experiment in flow for me, and just trusting that I don't have to have it all figured all out. I truly can trust myself. I trust myself as a channel. I trust that if I stay out of my head and in my body, we will be guided throughout the evening. And the fact that it ended up being so powerful for so many was really affirming for me, and was such a pleasure to witness and an honor to be a part of.
so true. And that's where we get to show up together in this community and remind each other in those spaces that whatever way that flow is, the over prepared, the under prepared, just trusting
Mm-hmm.
and just letting it flow.
Mm. And I think that's really what cannabis helps us do. She helps us soften our hypervigilance and our like performing because we secretly have this not enoughness underlying everything. Like, and instead, she helps us be present with ourselves and fall back in love with ourselves. That's been my journey. The way that I've seen myself grow and mature and soften and surprise myself working with this plant, it's been so magical. And the fact that now it's become a business and now incredible women are being brought into my world, I'm just really grateful that I get to be a steward for her. And it is challenging to combat just internally the judgment of others and the alternate perspectives. And something that really helps me is recognizing that we're all here to be a fractal of the whole, and every perspective can be valid. And I just get to further and further deepen my own self-trust, my own conviction of the evidence that is right here, right now. I just get to trust my embodied wisdom and stop second guessing myself.
I love it. Well, that's perfect because in the leadership upgrade part of Hannah's Elevate membership that I'm a part of, I am guest facilitating, I guess that's what we would call it tonight, and going through some story work. And that's what came to me in an elevated download state of what we're going to talk about. And tonight is going to be us looking at a win story, a celebration story of where we have made good, quote unquote, good decisions, where we made a decision that all worked out really well. I'm so proud of myself that that happened. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go through some of those different stories and go through this process together to really embody and see the where in our lives and our experiences where we have made great decisions, regardless if it was over preparing or under preparing. Mm-hmm. Wow, I'm really glad I did that extra research. Or, you know what, that went great, even though I didn't feel prepared. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is, that it could be a specific like event experience like last night, or it could be over the last 6 months. I have a few prompt questions that we're going to do. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go through this and really embody that and feel into that trust and going through this process and connecting with the medicine and connecting with the breath, which brings the body into it, and connecting with our sisters being witnessed by each other is so incredibly powerful. I'm so excited to get to bring that to the community tonight. And it totally amplifies it. I know Ryan talks all the time about, cannabis. She is a non-specific amplifier, and that is so true. So anybody out there listening, if you're still listening, you're like, I'm not really sure. The last time I had a gummy or last time I smoked, I got really anxious. She is a reflector of what's most inside of you. She didn't make you anxious. She was showing you a reflection of what was inside. And that's what we're doing within this. We are showing the reflections inside this community of the lights that are in us. And we are lighting it up. And we are magnifying each other's powers and our gifts together. So what an experience.
Amen. Amen. I'm so grateful to be in this dimension at this time. It's really cool to think about what has brought us here.
It really is. I started changing the language. That was one of my biggest things, and changing the language of how I was talking to myself. And then all those little things, like we started out saying, if you're saying an affirmation, you don't believe it, right? But finding ways to see where I am that version and being able to amplify that, then being able to continue to magnetize that. I've been writing for months that I magnetize magical, I didn't write magnetize. I attract magical connections. Magnetize is a new word I'm working on with Cherry, and another program is the magnetic program. But I attract magical connections. Cherry, you, like all these like different communities that I'm intertwining with and merging, and we're just showing such a beautiful collaboration of sisterhood too. I think that's so powerful, and like bringing back to this space of like it's safe to be together. It's safe to be expressive together in
Mm,
our voices, in our sounds, in our breath, in our movement, in our connection to Mother Earth and the plants and the medicines here. This
mm-hmm.
is giving us that space of we are so much more powerful together. That age of competition, if you're in that and you're ready to get the fuck out of that,
Mm-hmm.
come on over, because connection with this medicine and the body and the words and language, all of this stuff together, it works together to bring us back home to ourselves, to be the best versions of ourselves, and to just trust that everything really does work out.
Amen.
We can do whatever we want. We are the creators of this.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We can be in a state of relaxed excitement instead of urgent bracing for impact.
Yeah.
But we have to
Yeah.
teach our body that, and we do that through these practices and through this beautiful plant medicine. And like you said, in sisterhood, it's a true gift to be witnessed by other women who are on such a similar path, who get every single thing you're talking about, even and especially this element that some people are still carrying shame about. But we're demolishing all of that within the Elevate community, and we're remembering
Right.
that we're here to work with her and there's nothing to be ashamed of.
No, in fact, this was an elevated podcast
Mm,
itself.
you're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the most powerful tools I was learning in Ryan's Coach with Cannabis program,
Hmm.
was talking about just all of the different ways that we can utilize this medicine in integration of all the things that we're learning. And you with setting up the connection with the fascia. I mean,
Mm,
the fascia work, anybody out there that doesn't know anything about that, jump on board for that
hmm.
ASAP. We're going to
Hmm.
have Tammy on to the podcast really soon,
Yes.
but it's just move. Fascia is everything,
Yep.
right? And connecting with the medicine before, and just again being able to get more into the body with it is so powerful. Um,
Yes.
Using the medicine as integration with our partnership and relationship.
Yes.
We were talking about that recently. I think having that connection with your partner where you can use these different plant medicines intentionally for connection and introspective together. That's a whole nother episode.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just it's really opened up some doors for us, and for getting back into that place again where I could really receive,
Amen.
like we said before. And it's like if you are stuck with all that other shit that you've been carrying for so long,
Mm,
even if you want to receive it, there's no place for it.
correct.
So you got to move it out of your body.
Yes.
And there's still more stuff moving. I was a lot moving last night in that in that ceremony.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, I want to watch the replay again already.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man, maybe I'll do the replay again with Sebastian. We watched one of the replays from the Soul Disco, and we did that one at the pool, in the stock tank pool.
Hmm.
Oh, it was incredible. Just I love this, just the combination, the breath, the music and your guidance and the flow, and just all of it together is so powerful. And then you having these different people coming in and sharing their gifts, and it's Nicole, right? That did the Pilates.
Yes. Hmm.
And then Kimberly,
Hmm.
Kimberly's gonna do something. What is she, what's
Yep.
her?
She's doing elevated identity coaching.
I love it. I love it. She's
Hmm.
got that story work, that enlifted background too. And then she's got her own magic. I love her cards that she's doing, her
Yes.
oracle cards,
Yes. And tuning
and
forks.
then tuning forks. Like we just have all these different magical people
Hmm.
coming together and sharing their magic with each other. And it's so fun.
Hmm.
So fun.
So fun. What a gift.
We have Penelope, my beautiful 82-year-old
Hmm.
BFF, joining for one of the breathwork sessions. She
Yes.
loved it. She's
Sweet.
amazing.
How
I'll have to get
beautiful.
her to join one of the other ones coming up.
Would love that.
Yeah. Wow, this has been such a great
Mm,
conversation. I could like chat all day.
me too.
So, what is one last thing that you would want to share with anybody? We've covered so many things, but
We covered so many things. I just think the most important takeaway is prioritize safety and ease in your body because your state within determines your state without, determines your reality. And so the more you can prioritize releasing the hypervigilance, the worry, rewriting these patterns that are keeping you in a dysregulated state, working with your body to release tension so that your body's not always, again, bracing for impact, prioritizing ease in your body and safety in your body is the greatest thing you can do for not only yourself or your relationship or your family, but for all of humanity. Let's do it.
ding. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sister.
If this conversation is lighting something up in you, if you are feeling that pull to go deeper, I want to invite you into my coaching space. Whether you are just starting to untangle old stories or you are ready to fully embody your next level, your quantum leap, I offer one-on-one sessions or a transformational 4-pack designed to help you shift fast and with real support. My coaching blends nervous system work, breath work, and story alchemy. So you're not just learning, you are living your breakthroughs. You can book a free 30-minute intro call to see if it's the right fit for you. Email me at to love me at gmail.com. That's gmail.com, or find the link in the show notes below. Let's get you back to the heart because that is where your power lives.